My ex said I would come running back, then I sent her last message to the trash after she left one final text on my old phone. I found a small detail in our shared bills and realized her confidence was never love, it was a plan falling apart. Original post: my ex texted me that I would come running back before the end of the month. That was the first message she sent after breaking up with me in the parking lot behind a Target in Tampa. Her name was Aubrey. I am Ryan. I was 29 then and she was 28. We had been together almost 3 years, not married, no kids, just two people who had slowly built a life out of shared bills. Costco runs, rent payments, birthdays with both families, and a couch we bought on a payment plan because we kept saying we were almost ready for the next step. The breakup happened on a humid Thursday evening after I got off work from an IT support job. I was tired. My shirt was sticking to my back. I had spent most of the day explaining printer issues to people who treated technology like witchcraft. Aubrey asked me to meet her at Target because she said she needed to talk somewhere neutral. I knew that was bad. She was sitting in her car with the AC running. I got in and she did not even look at me at first. She stared out the windshield and said she felt like our relationship had gotten too small. I asked what that meant. She said she was tired of my routine. Work, groceries, dinner, sleep, bills. Rinse, repeat. I asked if she wanted to work on it. She said no. Then she looked at me and said I was comfortable, not exciting, not ambitious enough, not someone she could see herself choosing forever. I did not yell. I should have said more. I should have defended myself. But I just sat there feeling like someone had removed the floor from under me. She handed me a small grocery bag with my hoodie, toothbrush, and the spare key to my apartment. That was when I understood she had already planned the ending. I asked if there was someone else. She sighed like I was embarrassing her. She said not everything is about cheating. Then she said something I kept replaying for weeks. You will miss me when the silence gets loud. I went home in shock. We were not living together yet, but she stayed at my apartment 4 nights a week. Her makeup was still in my bathroom drawer. Her oat milk was still in my fridge. She had a package coming to my place because her apartment office kept losing deliveries. That night I packed her things into 2 boxes: clothes, hair dryer, chargers, a pink Stanley cup, 3 books she never finished, a stack of skincare bottles that cost more than my monthly internet bill. I put the boxes by my front door and sat on the couch until almost 3 in the morning. At 6 the next morning, my phone buzzed. It was Aubrey. She wrote that she hoped I did not do anything dramatic. Then she said she knew I was hurting, but I should not make it harder than it had to be. Then she sent the line, "You will come running back before the end of the month." I stared at it for a long time. Part of me wanted to reply. Part of me wanted to prove her wrong. Part of me wanted to beg her to explain how 3 years could turn into a parking lot conversation and a bag of my things. Instead, I deleted the message. Not archived, not muted, deleted. I did not know then that her last message was not the end of the story. It was the first clue. Update 1: the first week without Aubrey felt unreal. My apartment was too quiet, not peaceful. Quiet in a way that made every little sound feel disrespectful. The fridge humming. The neighbors upstairs walking around. My phone not lighting up at 9:30 when she usually sent some complaint about work. I was embarrassed by how much I missed someone who had humiliated me so calmly. I missed her laugh. I missed her messy ponytail. I missed how she always stole the blanket and then denied it. I missed the version of us that still existed in my head. But then small details started showing up. The first one was the internet bill. Aubrey had used my apartment a lot because my place had better Wi-Fi and was closer to her job as a marketing coordinator. A year earlier, she suggested we upgrade my internet because she was working from my place more often. She said she would pay the difference. The difference was $35 a month. I checked the bill after the breakup and realized she had not paid her part in 5 months. It was not a huge amount, $175, not life-changing. But it bothered me because she had been talking like I was the one holding her back. Meanwhile, I had been quietly absorbing small costs that made her life easier. Then I noticed the streaming accounts. Netflix on my card, Hulu on my card. The meal kit trial she swore she canceled was still charging me $79 every other week. I had missed it because the charge name looked weird. By Sunday night, I had gone through 3 months of statements. The total was almost $600. Again, not some dramatic crime, but it changed the way I saw things. Because I remembered every time she called me too careful with money. Every time she joked that I acted like a dad because I tracked bills. Every time she rolled her eyes when I said we needed to stop eating out 4 nights a week. She was not more free than me. She was just more comfortable spending from a life I kept stable. I canceled everything. That was when the second clue appeared. Aubrey texted me from her sister's phone because I had deleted the thread and muted her number. Her sister Dana wrote that Aubrey needed the tracking number for a package coming to my apartment. I checked my email. The package was not skin care. It was a dress. Expensive. $240. Ordered the same morning she broke up with me. Delivered to my apartment because she knew I would not ignore a package with her name on it. I almost texted her immediately. Instead, I looked at the order email again. The delivery address was mine. The billing address was not hers. It was an address in St. Petersburg. I did not recognize it. That was the first time my sadness turned into suspicion. I searched the address because I told myself I was just making sure it was not fraud. It was an apartment complex near the waterfront. The name that came up on the public rental listing was not hers. I knew I could spiral there, so I stopped. But the next morning, my friend Marcus called me. He worked with Aubrey for a while before changing jobs. He said he heard about the breakup through a mutual friend. Then he went quiet and asked if I already knew about Cole. I asked who Cole was. Marcus cursed under his breath. That was how I learned my ex had been spending lunch breaks with a guy from a partner agency for at least 2 months. Marcus said he did not know if anything happened. He only knew people at the office were talking because Aubrey had started acting single before she actually became single. That sentence stayed with me. Acting single before she actually became single. I had been grieving the end. She had been rehearsing it. Update 2: I did not confront Aubrey right away. That surprised even me. A younger version of me would have sent 20 texts, demanded answers, called her sister. Checked every Instagram story like a detective with no badge and no self-respect. This time I waited. Not because I was calm. I was not. I was shaky and angry and weirdly ashamed. I felt like I had been standing in a room with a fire alarm going off while everyone else pretended not to hear it. I waited because I wanted the truth more than I wanted a fight. The package arrived Wednesday. Aubrey texted from a new number 5 minutes after the delivery photo hit my email. She wrote that she hoped I could be mature and leave the box outside my door for Dana to pick up. I almost did. Then I saw the sender name on the label. It matched the store, but there was a small note printed near the barcode. Gift message included. I should not have opened it, I know that. It was not mine. But after 3 years of being told I was insecure every time I asked a basic question, I opened the packing slip. The dress was marked as a gift. The note said, "Wear this Friday." I want the first photo to be ours. It was signed Cole. I stood there in my kitchen holding that paper while the room tilted. It still did not prove cheating. Not exactly. But it proved there was already a man buying her dresses before the breakup dust even settled. Friday. That meant she had plans 2 days after asking me not to be dramatic. I took a picture of the slip. Then I put the dress back exactly how it came and taped the box shut. Dana picked it up that evening. She looked uncomfortable when I handed it to her. She would not meet my eyes. I asked her if Aubrey had told her about Cole. Dana froze. That was enough. She said, "Ryan, I am sorry." Then she walked away with the box. At 9 that night, Aubrey finally called from her own number. I let it go to voicemail. Her message was soft at first. She said she heard I was asking questions. She said she knew I was hurt. She said Cole was not the reason we ended. She said he only helped her see what she had been missing. That line almost made me laugh. Then her voice sharpened. She said I had no right to open her package. She said I was proving exactly why she left. She said I was controlling and small and obsessed with details. There it was again. Details. The same thing she used to mock when I tracked groceries. Details were annoying when they protected me. Details were important when they exposed her. I saved the voicemail. Then I did something I had avoided all week. I checked our shared vacation fund. We had a separate savings account for a trip to Seattle we were planning for fall. It was not a joint bank account. It was in my name because I opened it, but we both transferred money into it through Zelle. I had not touched it since the breakup. There should have been around $2,400. There was $1,400. I checked the transfers. $1,000 had been sent out 3 weeks before the breakup to Aubrey. The memo said deposit refund. I stared at the screen so long my eyes burned. Deposit refund. We had never paid a Seattle deposit. I searched my email again. Nothing. No booking. No refund. No cancellation. Then I remembered a conversation from a month earlier. Aubrey said she had accidentally overpaid her credit card and needed money moved around. I was half asleep. She asked me to transfer from the trip fund and said she would put it back after payday. I had forgotten. She had not. That was the strongest reveal because it was not just emotional betrayal anymore. It was the way she had cleaned up pieces of our life before leaving while I was still thinking we were tired but okay. I sent her one message. I know about the $1,000. I know about Cole. I know about the dress. I am not arguing. I want my money returned by next Friday. She replied 3 minutes later, "You are unbelievable." Then, "You really think money is the issue here?" Then, "This is why I knew you would come running back. You cannot let go." I read that last line twice. Then I deleted it, just like the first one. Final update: Aubrey did not send the money by Friday. She sent paragraphs. She said the $1,000 was not stolen because she had contributed to the vacation fund too. She said I was being petty. She said I was reducing 3 years to money and address. She said Cole had nothing to do with us failing. Then she sent the message that almost pulled me back in. She said she missed my apartment, not me. My apartment. She said she missed Sunday mornings there. She missed the way I made coffee. She missed sitting on my balcony when it rained. She missed the comfort of being with someone who always made life feel handled. That was the first honest thing she had said. She did not miss loving me. She missed being held by a life she did not have to carry. I did not answer for a full day. Instead, I called my older sister Mia. I told her everything. The breakup, the bills, the dress, the money, the messages. Mia listened quietly. Then she said something simple. "You keep looking for the one big betrayal because it would make leaving easier. But maybe the betrayal was all the little ways she trained you to ignore yourself." That hit harder than any insult from Aubrey, because it was true. I had ignored the unpaid bills because I did not want to seem cheap. I ignored the distance because I did not want to seem insecure. I ignored the jokes because I did not want to seem sensitive. I ignored the way she made me feel like stability was boring until she needed stability from me. The next Monday, Aubrey finally sent $500. No note. Then 2 days later, she sent another $300 with a money bag emoji. I sent one final request for the remaining $200. She replied that she hoped it was worth losing her over. I sat there staring at that message in my car outside work. For a second I saw the old pattern waiting for me: explain, defend, apologize, soften. Make her feel less guilty, make myself smaller so the ending hurt less. Instead, I took a screenshot from my records. Then I deleted the thread. Trash. Not because I hated her. Because I had finally accepted that every message from her was a hook. Some hooks looked angry. Some looked sad. Some looked romantic. Some looked like a joke. But they all wanted the same thing. They wanted me reacting, proving, chasing, staying available for a relationship she had already left. Aubrey sent the last $200 the next morning. Dana texted me separately and said she was sorry for helping with the package. She said Aubrey had told her we were already done weeks earlier. I believed her. I also told her I did not want more updates. Cole lasted maybe 6 weeks. I only know because Marcus mentioned seeing Aubrey alone at a work event, and I told him not to tell me anything else. That was another small victory, not needing the ending to punish her. 3 months later, my apartment felt different. I canceled the extra internet plan. I bought a cheaper coffee maker. I stopped ordering meal kits and started cooking badly until I got better. I went to a Rays game with friends and did not check my phone every 5 minutes. I finally used the Seattle savings account for something else. Not a trip, a new mattress. That sounds boring. But after months of sleeping badly on the side of the bed where she used to scroll through TikTok, it felt like reclaiming my own rest. Sometimes I still miss who I thought Aubrey was. That is the embarrassing part people do not admit. You can know someone treated you badly and still miss the version of them your heart saved. But missing someone is not a sign you should go back. Sometimes it is just your brain walking past an old house and remembering the lights before it remembers the cracks. Aubrey was right about one thing. The silence did get loud, but once it stopped scaring me, I heard myself again. I heard the part of me that had been asking for honesty. Respect, partnership, and peace. So no, I did not go running back. I sent her last message to the trash. And I finally stopped treating my own life like a waiting room for someone who only came back when their new plan failed. If you have ever had an ex act like your loyalty was guaranteed, comment what you would have done, like this story. Share it with someone who needs the reminder, and subscribe for more stories about breakups, betrayal, and finally choosing yourself.